Hello Stampers, my name is Linda Bedinger and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'd like to show you how to make this card. It's a fast and beautiful and so it takes very little time, very little in the way of materials, and yet I think is a very stunning card. And it's a way to use up some of your scraps that you might have of any designer series paper. I have used some from Floral Romance, a couple here from Petal Promenade, and today I'm going to make this up in pink from the Petal Promenade using the pink roses paper that's in that particular set. So I'm going to set these aside, and these are my thank you cards for this month for customers who order from me. So I thought I would just share how to go ahead and make these cards, and I'll be making several to send out to customers this month. So what you need to make this, very simply, you need a piece of Whisper White that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored and folded at 4 1/4. A nice burnish on this so that it lays a little bit flat. Next we'll need a piece of Whisper White that is 4 by 5 1/4 to layer on the front of our card. Adding layers, I think, adds a little bit of heft to your card and makes it feel more important. It also puts you through an extra step, and I think people see that. So there's that. Then we need a piece of designer series paper, your choice, and I would just go through pieces that you have. Some of the butterfly paper would be absolutely stunning. Anything that you have that's got a bunch of different colors where you can pick one out to do the framing. So with this one from Petal Promenade, I'm going to be using this piece of pink rose paper, and I thought about lining this one in Old Olive kind of to pick up the greens, but I decided that I really like it better in the pink. So I have chosen powder pink here, and these are 1/4 inch strips, 1/4 inch by 5 1/4, so that they'll just fit on here. If anything, I'd cut them a little long because you can always trim off the edge. Then we need a piece also of the powder pink that is a 1/2 inch wide by at least 4 1/4, because that's part of our decoration for the inside. Then a 1/4 inch strip of your pattern paper again to go right down the middle of that for our decorations for the inside. And then I use some of the iridescent sequin mix to embellish my cards. So let's just get started. It's very quick. I did set this up in my Stamparatus. Not that this is difficult or challenging to stamp, but it does make it absolutely quick. I wanted to make sure that the pink ink showed up well enough, so I had a little test piece here that I was using. So the way I have set this up is this piece of card sits in here, and as you may know if you've watched me, I like to use my silicone mat just to give a tiny bit of a lift on the Stamparatus here. And I set this up to go right to the edge of the silicone mat here, and then put my magnet into place, and then I'm using my powder pink ink here. Let me move this out of the way so you can see the whole thing I'm doing here. And what I'm going to do is ink up my powder pink on the stamp, and because it's a light color, I found that I do want to stamp this 2 or 3 times because I want a very intense pink. And you can see there it's stamped beautifully, and it's lighter, and I want a saturated color. So I'm going to stamp it a couple of times here. Let's see what that one looks like. That's actually pretty good. I think maybe we'll leave it at that. So I've got my thank you, and this thank you, where did that come from? That came out of the Tropical Chic. There's this thank you here, and I kind of like the font of that one, and that it was low profile for my card. And I set it up in my Stamparatus because I have to make several of these. So I wanted to be able to lay my piece down, stamp, lay my piece down, stamps, so on and so forth, so I can get more of an assembly line process going here. But that's the stamping, and it just makes it awfully easy if you're doing it in your Stamparatus, and you never take the chance that it's going to misstamp. Okay, so putting this together, what I did was I lined up my card on my grid paper here and used my silicone mat here to add some glue to the back of my 1/4 inch strip. Now this is my 1/4 inch by 5 1/4, so it should go all the way across the card. Then I'm going to pick a grid line here. I think that one will do. And then I can come all the way across and make sure that it lines up with the same grid line on the other side. And I got that on there just the way I want it. And got some extra glue on the edges there. By the way, when you finish your cards, really look at them closely, because sometimes you will have a little residue of glue. You've used some Tombow and it's now dry and it's showing shiny on your card. And one of the things that makes the cards, I think, look wonderfully professional is if you take the second to use your glue eraser. And if you don't have one of these, you should invest in one, because they do, one, they save projects, but they're just absolutely essential for getting a professional look. Okay, so here we have our paper also cut to that same size, and I'm going to add some snail to the back of my DSP here. And I know you have some stash of some unused pieces of paper and some that are your favorites, and this is a way to give them life and have them go on. Now this would make an absolutely lovely note card as well, where you could put just a note up here, or you could make it happy birthday. There's a lot of things you can do with this. I think it's attractive enough that you could do lots of different things, and it's actually so simple and fast. This would be another one you could make up and have on hand for quick gifts. One of my demonstrators on my team says that sometimes when she's going to someone's home for a dinner or cocktail party or something along those lines, that she often will just take 2 cards and put them in the cellophane bags and take them as a hostess gift. And she says it's gotten to the point that people are kind of looking forward to getting getting those kinds of things. This one didn't land on here, as I started it a little too far down, so I'm going to back it up and move it to the edge of the card there and replace that. There we go. That's a little bit better, and now I've got a better fit. And there we have it. That is the front of the card. So I did not raise this on dimensionals or foam tape or anything else. I just went ahead and put this piece on the front of my card here. There we go. And that is it. Now, we do have the sequins here from our sequin mix, and I have my take your pick tool here, and I'm going to pick out a few of these pink rhinestones and put some glue down, and I'm going to put 5 on there. I've kind of been putting these sort of along here, kind of one in the middle and then one down here at the bottom. And the eye seems to prefer numbers that are odd, so I'm doing 5 on this. So 3 here at the top using the pink sequins here. The sequin mix actually has worked out beautifully because I've on all of the cards I've been able to use sequins right out of this mix. And given the variety of paper, that's pretty good. The only thing we don't seem to have is blues and purples. So Stampin' Up, can we please have some blue and purple sequins? Doesn't hurt to ask. Okay, and one last one for right down here at the bottom. There we go. Now we're going to take our 1/2 inch strip here and add some glue to the back of it and set it on the inside of our card in, I don't know, maybe 1/4 of an inch here along this edge. And I cut it bigger than I needed just so that I could trim it down and have a perfect fit. And then I have my 1/4 of an inch piece of DSP. So you're really only using 2 1/4 inches of DSP, and so it doesn't take very much to make this card. So I'm setting this down in the center, bringing it down to the bottom. The whole idea is to keep it absolutely as simple as possible so that it's fast and easy to do. And this would be a great project to do if you happen to be traveling, because it takes almost no supplies. If you cut things ahead of time, you could probably knock out a whole bunch of these while other people were doing something that you were less interested in doing in your travels. So there we go. That is the project for the day. A simple little card. Let me burnish this edge one more time here. There we go. And any color ink, any color DSP. Now I concentrated on just 2 packages of DSP, but they were what happened to be on my desk when I got this idea. So there are the 4 iterations that I did of this particular card. And I think that on this video I will also do a giveaway that I will give away 2 of the cards from this series that I'm doing, and a little box of the iridescent sequin mix. So and all you have to do to be in the drawing for this, and I'll do it fairly quickly in the next 2 days or so, is to make a comment below and share the video. Thanks again so much for stopping by my YouTube channel today. I do so appreciate it. And if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, then I'd love to be your demonstrator, and or you could join my team. Right now, the join order or the join opportunity is $175 worth of product for $99, with an optional opportunity to pick up one of those wonderful craft totes that Stampin' Up! Is offering now. And let's see, the prize draw for the month is the Well Said Bundle, which is enormous. It's a 50 sentiment stamp set and a 24-piece die set. And it's got sentiments that just kind of go forever. And so to be in the drawing, all you have to do is place an order on my website, www.lbedinger.stampinup.net, or you can get there from my blog, www.inkandingenuity.com. And let's see what else is going on. Oh, second release. Today is second release of the Sale-abration opportunity. There's a couple of stamp sets. There's a beautiful embossing folder. My order's on its way, so we'll have those in a day or so. And so there's an opportunity to earn some additional things through Sale-abration. Also, Paper Pumpkin. Paper Pumpkin is going to be 6 years old in March. And so this time it's 8 full-size cards that are birthday cards, I've been told. And they said they will pop, so I'm not sure what that is. That's the only clue they've given us. But the big thing is, because it's their celebration of their birthday, they're going to give us gifts. So in the March Paper Pumpkin, there will be 2 stamp sets. So you have until March 10th to sign up for Paper Pumpkin and be eligible to receive the 2 stamp sets in the March kit. Again, thanks so much for stopping by, and I'll be back soon with more cards and more projects. Bye!